What's up guys, it's me Deshaun and welcome to my all devils ranked weakest to strongest video on Chainsaw Man. Like and subscribe if you want to. With that being said, let's get started. Now for the weakest devil in Chainsaw Man, I chose the Great Devil. The Great Devil actually makes his one and only appearance during the International Assassins arc. And as you can see, the Violence Fiend actually kicked his eyeballs in. Being a devil that's majority eyeballs, tentacles, and a few weak limbs, it seems as though its mobility is very limited and it can't support its own body weight. Like, actually look at those limbs. He's not moving anywhere. And for the most part, with his crappy mobility and a bunch of exploitable areas to damage, aka his giant round eyeballs, it seems as though the Great Devil has absolutely no fighting chance with the rest of the devils on this list. Now time for the next one on the list, the Sea Cucumber Devil. Now if we put the Great Devil and the Sea Cucumber Devil in a one-on-one fight, the Sea Cucumber is easily slapping him. Allow me to explain why. The Great Devil is covered in eyeballs. Now if we take a good look at the Sea Cucumber, look at what this man's is covered in. Fingers. Fingers versus eyeballs. Have you ever been poked in the eye? It's not a fun time. And the Sea Cucumber is about to be doing a lot of poking if we look at all the fingers all over his body. I'm sorry, Great Devil, you do not stand a chance. There is an eye in finger and there's also an eye in wind. But by the time the Sea Cucumber Devil is done with the Great Devil, there will be no more eyes. Next up we have the Skin Devil. Now we don't really get to see much of the Skin Devil, but its known abilities for whoever's contracted with it is the fact that they can change their appearances based on whatever corpses they might have touched. Now in terms of strength, this might not seem like much. But when it comes to practicality, I think it's a lot better than the Great Devil or the Cucumber Devil because they're practically useless. At least this demon does something. Well, let me not say useless because, you know, I'm a Sea Cucumber Devil stan. That man kind of dripped out. Up next, we have your generic and or lesser fiend. These lesser fiends are practically like normal humans, but they'd more often than not have the means to kill any normal human, whether it be sharp teeth or claws or anything along those lines. Pretty much everything above this fiend would slap him on the list. There's not really much to say because outside of the sharp teeth and maybe a few genetic things that would make them stronger than a human, they're still on the level of a human, meaning that a human could probably kill them if they really wanted to. Hence Denji just killing this fiend with a hatchet. Up next we have the Muscle Devil. With the ability to control muscles, he has the ability to control you, and not only this, but implode your muscles. As someone who's experienced workout related injuries, that is very painful. Luckily for Denji, he was able to get out of this one because he's part chainsaw and part man. And those chainsaws shredded the Muscle Devil to pieces. Up next we have the Pig Devil, or as I like to call him, Pig Paste. Unfortunately, outside of this devil being dead in this panel, we don't see anything of what it can do, but it's safe to assume with it being a giant pig, it could obviously eat something. I don't know. Actually, I think that's the most accurate thing it would do. It would simply just eat the Great Devil, the Sea Cucumber Devil, the Fiend, and the Muscle Devil. But yes, the Pig Devil, a giant pig. Not really much to say about that, but yeah, giant pigs for the win. When it comes to this next devil, I don't think it will be eating the Tomato Devil. And you know, that's kind of ironic when you take into consideration that it's the Tomato Devil. But yes, I think the Tomato Devil would actually beat the Pig Devil in a fight. Not only does it seem like it has better mobility with the pig, considering it has multiple appendages for omnidirectional movements, and the fact that it could bash the pig's brains in with these same appendages to get an easy win over it. And when you take their sizes into comparison, I'd say the Tomato Devil easily has the Pig Devil beat. It seems as though it's almost double the size of the pig. Up next, we actually have the Mantis Devil. Now, we don't see anything else when it comes to the Mantis Devil outside of this attack that he does when summoned by some devil hunters. But judging by the size of the arms of the Mantis, or should I say the raptorial legs if you want to be very specific, I think it's safe to assume that these legs could easily one-shot the Tomato Devil or the Pig Devil, because these legs by themselves have the potential to match them in scale. I could only imagine the full size of the Mantis Devil while in combat. Up next, we have the Fish Devil, but the Fish Devil actually does seem like it's strong because it turns out to have a piece of the Gun Devil inside of it. Unfortunately, we don't get a display of any of the Fish Devil's combat abilities, but it's safe to assume that it looks like it could walk on land, considering it looks like the Fish Devil was pulled right out of Junji Ito's manga Gyo. But based off of the fact that it has a piece of the Gun Devil inside of it, I'd put it above everything that was previously established on this list. Now, despite having a piece of the Gun Devil inside of it, I actually put the Zombie Devil as the next one on this list. Not only because of its broken ability to send a horde of zombies against you that are practically going to overwhelm you, but it's mainly because of a part that I bet most people are overlooking when it comes to this devil. The fact that it is sentient and smart enough to trick humans. Due to the intelligence of the Zombie Devil, despite the Fish Devil actually having a piece of the Gun Devil inside of it, I think the Zombie Devil would be able to trick the Fish Devil and defeat it with its overwhelming numbers from its zombie army. Despite the Zombie Devil being only as strong as whatever it turns into a zombie, and in this case, it would most likely be possessing a bunch of humans, I still feel like these humans would overwhelm the Fish Devil. But I don't think they'd overwhelm the Leech Devil. When standing upright, the Leech Devil's height is pretty monstrous. But not only this, its attack power and long-range attacks could fend off against the zombies decent enough for her to consume them and regenerate until she finally killed the main Zombie Devil. And when you take into account that the Leech Devil is also sentient, I feel like she'd have a much better fight fighting off the Zombie Devil than the Fish Devil ultimately would. Now, when it comes to the Bat Devil, not only does he have the ability to fly, but it seems as though he beats the Leech Devil in terms of overall strength. Like the Leech Devil, he is also sentient, so that means he could develop tactics that could counter the Leech Devil in terms of their fight. Due to the ability to fly, this brings a whole new world of verticality when it comes to his combat options. If he were to fly and use probably his most destructive weapon, his mouth cannon, he would undoubtedly blast the Leech Devil into pieces. Now, as for the next one on this list, it could potentially be debatable, the Ghost Devil. So the Ghost Devil senses fear. So if the Ghost Devil does not sense fear, it cannot sense you. So that would be its main weakness. What makes this debatable is the fact that we don't know whether or not the demons underneath the Ghost Devil would fear it or not. But unfortunately, we're not here for debates, and we want the ones on this channel. So we're going to go based on the fact that the Ghost Devil can actually scrap what everyone previously mentioned on the list. And when it comes to the Ghost Devil versus the Bat Devil, I think the Ghost Devil is winning because it would actually overwhelm the Bat Devil. The Ghost Devil is so strong it was actually capable of overwhelming the Katana Devil. When we look at the scenario with the Bat Devil fighting a Weapons Devil like Denji, and the Ghost Devil fighting a Weapons Devil like the Katana Devil, that should say enough about the Ghost Devil's strength and how a battle between the Ghost Devil and the Bat Devil would actually play out. Now, above the Ghost Devil, we have the Eternity Devil. Now, what makes the Eternity Devil so special is the fact that, unlike the Zombie Devil, it has unlimited resourcefulness, and you can only defeat it by destroying its core. But good luck finding that core behind the endless wall of flesh that the Eternity Devil can produce. The only reason why Denji was actually able to defeat the Eternity Devil was because the Eternity Devil yielded and exposed its core to him. And the reason why the Eternity Devil did this was because he was in an endless loop of pain because Denji constantly kept consuming him, regenerating, and ultimately damaging the Eternity Devil. When it comes to the Eternity Devil's placement, every single devil below him, I do not believe that they'd be able to consume him at a rate in which they wouldn't get overwhelmed by the wall of flesh that the Eternity Devil has produced. Because I don't think they'd be able to deal enough damage or consume him at a satisfactory rate in which they'd be able to survive or last that long against him. Denji's chainsaws are enough to tear the Eternity Devil into pieces and tear him up at a rate in which he'd be able to constantly consume him in order to start a loop. But when it comes to the Bat Devil or the Leech Devil, I don't see them being able to damage the Eternity Devil into a point in which they'd start a loop. But do you want to know what devil can? The one that is higher than the Eternity Devil on this list, the Fox Devil. The overwhelming size of the Fox Devil to be able to swallow both the Leech Devil and potentially the Bat Devil whole tells me that the Fox Devil has the ability to eat past the wall of flesh that the Eternity Devil has put up. If Aki would have had the ability to use Calm, there is no doubt in my mind that the Eternity Devil would have gotten packed up. There's a reason why Fujimoto didn't let the Fox Devil appear in this arc, and that's because he would have decimated this devil. How many of you thought of Terraria when I said Wall of Flesh? Comment down below. Next up, we have the Snake Devil. Very similar to the Fox Devil when you take into consideration that they both go around and eat stuff. Honestly, when it comes between the Fox Devil and the Snake Devil, it could be debatable depending on who you ask, because both of these devils do almost the same exact thing. But if we're doing it based on fear, I do feel like more people fear snakes than they do foxes. But I guess that in itself is debatable as well. Next on the list, we have the Octopus Devil. I decided to put the Octopus Devil over the Snake Devil because it seems as though the ink from the octopus overall adds more flexibility when it comes to combat encounters. And when you take the 8 tentacles of the octopus into account, I feel like 8 giant tentacles that could crush its opponents are a lot more practical than one mouth simply chomping down on its opponents, because these tentacles give you options for feints. If you were to miss an attack, you could rebound with another tentacle, but if you were to miss a bite, you'd be left open to be punished. The Octopus Devil overall seems a lot more practical and useful than the Snake Devil. And that's not even including the mobility options due to the suction cups. Next on the list, we have the Shark Fiend. With the ability to swim in any surface, walls, ground, anything, this would put his evasive options on another level entirely. How do you damage the Shark Devil if he dives underground and you can no longer reach him? Constant barrages from the Shark Devil and his teeth as he dives away, turning even the simplest of fights into an endurance test. Honestly, good luck fighting that back. Now, next on the list might be a bit divisive. I would say the Spider Devil is above the Shark Devil. Granted, we don't see the Spider Devil use that many abilities, but I personally feel like she has a lot more going on than what we've seen in the series. But not only this, I feel like more people actually fear spiders than they do sharks. Debatable placement? Yes. The ability to agree to disagree? You have? Yes. Up next, we have the Doll Devil. It seems more or less like a glorified version of the Zombie Devil. Another endless horde of NPCs to come rushing you down and bodying you. But what makes these guys so dangerous is that it seems as though they have unlimited stamina and their speed is pretty decent as well. They're so agile, they're capable of running across walls. And they're actually able to dodge an attack from the Fox Devil. If you're fighting 20 of these things, good luck, because your chances of surviving are actually slim to none. Up next, we have the Claw, Knife, and Needle Devils. We actually don't see anything displayed for them at all, so this placement on the list is kind of bullshit. But hey, I have good faith in Kishibe and his taste in devil contracts. The fear of claws, knives, and needles seems pretty broken to me. Now you may be asking, what's stronger than claws, knives, and needles? And to that, I'd say a curse. When it comes to the Cursed Devil, it seems as though whenever you're stabbed with these specific nails, as its name insinuates, you are going to become cursed. And once you're cursed, you unfortunately fly into the air and die, as these giant demon-looking skulls in the shape of a crucifix bite down on you and cause you to bleed out. If you're durable enough, or if you can regenerate, it seems as though you may be able to survive this attack. But if not, hasta la vista. Next on the list, we have the Stone Devil. Unfortunately, we do not see the full extent of the Stone Devil's powers before it's destroyed, but it has the ability to turn anyone within the range of its attacks into stone, basically one-shotting you. Because if you're turned to stone and somebody breaks you, GG's. I actually put this above the Cursed Devil because it seems a lot more efficient and easier to hit. Now, I know next on the list is going to be very, very divisive, but to start it off, I put Sugihagi over the Stone Devil. Now, the thing that makes this very divisive is the fact that Sugihagi literally does nothing. so it's practically impossible to gauge where she'd be on this list in actuality. But personally, I put her this high because I think she's in the same league as the other girls that work under Quan Chi. And when you take into account that she's a private devil hunter, she'd have to have at least some type of decent combat ability, especially when you take into consideration that all 4 of these girls were going to fight Kishibe despite him having to claw a knife in Needle Devil's contracts. If you were to ask me, I think as fiends, they would have the ability to easily defeat Kobeni in a fight, and Kobeni was actually capable of dodging the Snake Devil and practically defeating its user. And as fiends that work under Quan Chi, I feel like these girls would be able to do the same, if not better. Next on the list, we have Pingxi. Similar to Sugihagi, it's safe to assume that she has pretty decent combat ability, and she also has the ability to read your devils as well, meaning that she'd be able to predict what type of moves you would make in any combat scenario, allowing for her to appropriately counter, as she knows what to expect from the contract you have assigned with your own devil. Outside of this, again, her abilities are practically unknown, but as a fiend, again, I would assume that she'd have pretty decent combat ability, considering that she was going to face Kishibe head on. And if they're able to quote-unquote take care of the leftovers of Quan Chi, I would strongly reinforce the fact that these girls can fight. And in terms of Pingxi, despite it not being shown, I'm pretty sure her hair is practically able to eat anything that she fights or provide at least some type of offensive maneuvers. Next on the list, we have Long. I'm not repeating myself for the 3rd time, but yeah, go ahead. She has nice combat abilities, but it seems as though Long has the ability to breathe fire. Unfortunately, we do not see more outside of this, but when you take into account that she's a fiend, has decent combat abilities, and was going to fight Kishibe, that should give you an idea on why she's this high on the list. And I'm pretty sure that she'd be able to have movement like Kobeni and so on and so forth. Up next, we have the Violence Fiend. To put it in simple terms, the Violence Fiend has superhuman strength, but unfortunately we do not know the full extent of that strength. But if there's one thing I know for certain, is the fact that his strength would allow him to face off against anyone underneath him on this list. And with his mask removed, he gets even stronger. The Typhoon Devil. Looking like something pulled straight out of Akira, his presence alone is something strong enough to destroy an entire city. And how he goes about destroying a giant city, well, it's pretty simple. This man is a giant flesh tornado and he tears it to shreds. If it's not the violent winds tearing you to pieces, it'll be getting caught up in his flesh and getting thrown around like an orange in a blender. Now, would you put an orange in a blender? Probably have to peel it first, but you know, the seeds, I don't know, that'd be kind of nasty. Squeezed or blended orange? What do you guys prefer? But anyways, the sheer scale of the Typhoon Devil is literally making it difficult for anyone underneath him on this list to fight him. His destructive capability and his winds alone, it would be pretty hard to even get close to him to even damage him. Up next, we have the Mold Devil. So broken, he could debatably be higher on this list. Similar to the Cursed Devil, the Mold Devil has the ability to one-shot, but what makes him so dangerous is the fact that even if you have the ability to regenerate, it won't get rid of the mold. The Mold Devil can grow mold in your heart and intestines, making it so that you can no longer use your body. In order to counter this, your regeneration factor would have to be so strong that even with your head cut off, you could grow a brand new body. And that's only if the mold doesn't actually reach your brain. During the fight with Rize, if the Devil Hunters would have used the mold on her brain in the first place, she would have definitely lost that fight. Up next, we have the Future Devil. The Future Devil, we do not know the full extent of the Future Devil's powers, so debatably he could actually be higher on the list than where he currently is. But for the most part, the Future Devil is extremely broken, with the ability to see into the future. May it be 1 second, 2 seconds, or even 3 will give you a major advantage during a fight. A regular human as weak as Aki will actually be able to take on somebody completely out of his league like Reed, all because he's able to look into the future by a few seconds. Despite being outclassed by strength, speed, and everything on the board, he was able to stand toe-to-toe with her and survive. Now, if you were to put the Future Devil in the hands of someone that is more capable to exploit his powers, that goes to show just how broken the Future Devil actually is. Next up, we have the Cosmos Fiend, a devil who in fact actually has the strongest attack in the entire series. The only problem here why she's not higher on the list is the fact of whether or not she can actually get that attack off. And if she can't hit this attack, she's kinda useless. But with the Cosmos Fiend's ability, Halloween, She overflows your brain with everything. And when I do mean everything, I mean everything, because you will understand everything there is to understand in the universe. Make sense? Good, I hope it did. And if it didn't, she basically turns you into a vegetable, putting an end to your veggie tales. Well, I guess that would be the start of your veggie tales, because, you know, you're a vegetable, but you get the premise. Up next, we have the Angel Devil. The Angel Devil's ability is to actually drain your lifespan by touching you. The longer he touches you, the more life he actually drains from you. And with this life force, he's able to forge weapons with special abilities to actually damage ghosts or other demons alongside those. We don't know the full extent of what else he could do with these weapons, forged from the lifespan of others, but it seems as though with 1,000 years, he's actually able to damage one of the strongest characters in the series. So respectively, I feel like he earned this spot. But I wouldn't put him any higher because I don't think his combat ability is that insane either, so there's that to take into account. Up next, we have the rest of the followers of Chainsaw Man, not including the ones that are actually on this list, such as Beam, the Angel Devil, Empower, and Princey, the Spider Demon, and Galgalia, the Violence Fiend. When it comes to the other three, we have absolutely no information on them, Seraphine, Virtue, and Dominion, but I'd bet that they'd scale to the other characters in terms of their respective demon strength. Out of all the powers of the current followers of Denji that we already know of, they are all pretty decently strong, and I wouldn't put it past the unknown members to be as strong as them, if not stronger. So that's actually why I put them this high on the list, despite their powers being unknown. Up next, we have the Katana Hybrid. Obviously, with being a hybrid, this would put him above a majority of the cast, and he's so strong he's able to actually clash against Denji. And don't get upset when I say this, but he actually kind of mops the floor with him until Denji actually deceives him and catches a dub that way. In an honest fight, Denji probably wouldn't have won, but who cares? This is Chainsaw Man. We don't fight honorably. Didn't your granddad ever teach you that a beast should never trust a hunter? Above the Katana Hybrid, we actually have the Bomb Hybrid, Reese. Due to the destructive capability of Reese alone, you could arguably say that she's the strongest out of the weapons devils. I don't think whips, swords, flamethrowers, or spears are seeing a bomb. Well, not even a crossbow, but unfortunately, crossbow is actually stronger. Anyways, Reese in the next one on the list could potentially be interchangeable. It all depends on your preference, and that's mainly because we have little to no information on the other hybrids that I put above her. But arguably, due to her destructive capability, because she is the Bomb Devil, you could easily say that she's the strongest of the hybrids. Up next, we have all the other hybrids, Whip, Sword, Flamethrower, and Spear. Unfortunately, we don't have any information on these characters outside of the fact that they're actually able to fight Denji when he's in his full Chainsaw Man form. And as impressive as that is, they still kind of got mopped. Like, badly. They did not stand a chance against Denji. But they're so strong, they're stronger than everybody below them on this list. After all, they're hybrids. Next on the list, we have the Crossbow Hybrid, Lady Quan Chi. Not only is she a hybrid, but her combat ability matches the #1 devil hunter, Kishibe. After all, Quan Chi is actually the first devil hunter, and she used to be his partner. Due to her experience alone, and the fact that we don't know much about the other weapons devils, I would say that this would put her above all the other weapons devils, until we're able to get more information on them. Quan Chi is actually known to be the strongest human, and whether or not this is actually including all the other hybrids, we don't know yet, but the manga says this, so I'm gonna go with it. Up next, we have the Blood Fiend, and this is actually power in her full form as the Blood Devil. If blood manipulation isn't broken enough for you, let me remind you of some of the things that power is capable of doing with her blood manipulation. Obviously, having basically unlimited weapons at her disposal, because she could always make something out of blood, whether it be for defensive measures or offensive. She can instantly kill you by turning the blood that is inside of you into blades so that they'll be impaling you. She could probably even rip the blood straight out of your body or stop it from flowing inside of your body. Keep you from regenerating, because if you were trying to consume blood, she could prevent you from consuming it because she manipulates it, and the list goes on. Honestly, good luck fighting her if she's just going to turn your blood, which every fucking living thing needs, into swords. Up next, we have the Hell Devil, summoned specifically to kill Makima. It seems as though he'd at least be on her level in terms of combat ability. He's so strong that Makima actually had to call on Denji for help. Well, I guess you could say Chainsaw Man in this case. So that should say a lot about his strength right there. But outside of that strength, the main reason why I personally think he's so strong is because he can banish you to hell. And good luck getting out of hell or surviving the hordes of demons that exist inside of hell. It's almost like a free win. Well, unless, you know, you're above this dude on the list. And the next one we have on the list is the Gun Devil. Outside of practically having aimbot and killing millions of people within 5 minutes and debatably being one of the strongest demons in the series, this dude deserves this spot on the list because he is an absolute monster and wasn't even using his full strength when he appeared. He is so strong, mere pieces of the Gun Devil get consumed by demons, right? And these mere bite-sized pieces of the Gun Devil will give them significant boosts in powers into a point in which they'd be in an entirely different league in terms of strength. The Gun Devil is no laughing matter, but do you want to know what demon makes him a laughing matter? The Punishment Devil. The Punishment Devil, we do not see much of it, but it is so strong. It is capable of one-shotting the Gun Devil. He literally shows up to just one-shot one of the strongest characters in the series. And the worst part is, next on this list is so strong, she was actually able to control this devil and make it one-shot the Gun Devil. Makima, the Control Devil. She is so strong, she practically has almost unlimited resourcefulness from the amount of demons she could potentially control and use in combat. If she thinks of you as lesser than her, that is an automatic win. And if not, she can control all of the things around her and overwhelm you completely. She has full control over the Punishment Devil, the Gun Devil, the Zombie Devil, and all of the hybrids on this list. Makima is absolutely broken, and it's insane to think that the next one after her is so strong. When Makima faced him, she declared that this fight would be unwinnable. The full incarnation of Chainsaw Man. He is so strong. He can erase your existence, tanked attacks that shot him into outer space, and was able to take on a horde of demons all by himself while in hell, and was able to take on all of the hybrid devils like they were nothing. Having Makima declare that a fight is unwinnable is an insane enough feat in itself, but there's a devil in the strongest in the series that is actually stronger than Chainsaw Man, and that is the Primal Fear, known as the Darkness Devil. You could debate that Denji could be stronger than the Darkness Devil, but the fact that the Darkness Devil is a Primal Fear puts him in a different league from Denji entirely. Killing people with simple gestures. His presence has the ability to make people's limbs fall off. He's so strong he can teleport a devil, the Stone Devil, into his hands and kill him. While in the dark, he has the ability to instantly regenerate. And I doubt that this is even a fraction of his full capabilities. Now that you made it this far in the video, I'd just like to say I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and be sure to check out the other Chainsaw Man videos on the channel. Buenos noches.